welcome to today's RetailWire podcast in partnership with Leaders of Trade. I have with me Radharaman Jha, VP of Supply Chain and Master Data Management at Flaconi. Welcome, Rad.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So when we were talking behind backstage, you mentioned the lipstick effect, and I really want to start with that because it's something new to me. So can you start by explaining it?
There is the economical phenomena, which means whenever there is an economical slowdown, the sales of lipstick goes up, which also symbolizes that the sales of beauty product goes up. It is primarily because that time people don't have too much money that they can buy luxury goods like leather bags and so. So they prefer to buy smaller beauty product to make themselves
Sense.
happy.
Okay, so I thought that would be a nice segue into the first question. So, how do you see AI reshaping the retail and beauty landscape from a customer experience and operation point of view?
I think so AI would actually take industry to a different leap. I mean, if I have to take AI on end-to-end value chain, right? So you have to start from, let's say, sourcing part, then demand planning, supply planning, customer journey, right? So I believe AI would act as a central nervous system. We have CNS. I won't say backbone because that would have already been taken by IT people. So I would say it would act as a central nervous system, connecting different functions within organization and providing intelligence. So, for example, it could act as an intelligence system for doing a demand forecasting much better. So, you don't have to simply rely on customer demand based on what they purchase, but you can understand what they're browsing through, what they could potentially buy in future, and then you can do that. If you take from the grocery shopping example, it could act as a intelligent refrigerator for your house. So instead of you deciding what to buy, we have 1.3 billion tons of food waste every year across the globe. Now, AI could actually solve the problem because we often buy in bulk, and then at the end of the week, we don't feel like having that food. We don't cook, and then it gets wasted. So maybe AI could actually understand our food habits. It can also get connected to our favorite grocery shop. It knows that what you take in your breakfast, lunch, and this, and based on that, dynamically, intelligently suggests you should have this food because this will have a higher protein, and then could also place an order on your behalf and get it received. So think of it as a kind of different one from the fashion industry perspective. It will also add in terms of not simply 29% inventory goes best in fashion, it goes landfill because ultimately you don't buy it, right? So it could act as an intelligent way of understanding what consumer preference fashion sense are changing, intelligently assign this to your manufacturing and start producing small batches so you can maximize your profitability. So if you ask me, I can spend 1 hour on this because I'm really very, very passionate about this. But I think AI would play a very important role in business sustainability and profitability.
So, with customer expectations changing quite rapidly, how would that play a part in this whole piece? Because, yeah, I get that it can anticipate, but what if I just change my mind in a second?
Correct.
And
Exactly. So if you change your mind in a second in without AI world, it's very, very difficult to understand at all. And that's what we see because you see customer preference changes every single day based on what they browse, who is their favorite influencer and everything, right? Now, without AI world, business is anyway suffering. They have no clue. They don't know what's happening. They only know this after 1 month when everything have already done, right? But with the AI world, if we allow this intelligence to understand a consumer behavior, not just based on what you have bought, but what you are trying to, you know, uh, understand and buy, that would actually give an extra edge to the retailers to drive.
in your view, what does next generation retail operations mean in today's AI driven world?
I think the next generation would be more of a autonomy and less of a automation. So it would be a shift from automation to autonomy. And there is a fundamental difference between this. In last 20 years, we have been talking about data, analytics, automation, machine learning, and everything. that was primarily to increase efficiency and productivity, which was only doing heavy lifting of automating the existing tasks. What AI would do is not just automating the task, but taking an intelligent decision which would actually make things much better. For example, AI could actually understand the geopolitical tension, the logistic routes which would have a kind of blockage. It could understand the impact on the logistic cost and intelligently take a decision to route or find a different route, right? In a marketing space, AI can actually understand not simply in a traditional way of sending uh, marketing email to customer, but actually understand which type of email, what kind of personalization customer actually prefer, and tailor it in that way and send only that you know laser sharp laser sharp of marketing campaign which would convert your consumer. It will also happen in future that you don't have one website. If you're if you're buying from your favorite shop, you might not like their layout. It can understand your behavior and change the complete layout when you start logging to that website, right? For the same website layout might be totally different for you than for me. So these kind of behavior and this would be a kind of new shift that we will see in future.
with that customer experience. Okay, so can you share an example where emerging technologies such as AI, automation, or data analytics have delivered measurable business impact at Flaconi?
So, look, like any other businesses, we are also on that journey. I can't claim that we are, kind of achieved that. And I think every technology is overhyped in a short term and underhyped in a long term. So currently, AI is overhyped. People are not realizing, including industry, the real potential. And in future, they might assume that it's still overhyped and they might not able to capitalize on that. So for us, you know, the real business value comes from non-sexy, boring stuff.
Yeah.
So what we started within Flaconi is, of course, we started seeing a dynamic pricing using AI to understand what is the right price for this product for this customer, right? What we are also doing a kind of fraud detection using AI. As a e-commerce, you're always prone to bad actors, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, we have, just like any other retailer, we have automated the chatbot for customer, better customer experience. We are also working on having a kind of personalized gifting recommendation using AI. So we are working at different facets. Some of the use cases that I just mentioned have already been done. We saw some great result coming out, and some of them are still in progress. So I think we will see some great result too.
So, as the beauty industry evolves, what shifts are you seeing in how brands approach omnichannel personalization and customer engagement? I know you touched on it before, but if you can go into a bit more detail.
So I believe omni-channel would be an outdated keyword in next 5 years. So there will not be some, like, the meaning of omni-channel is customer have option to either shop online or offline. Now this either or would vanish. So you will see in future a more of a convergence of your physical store to your digital world. So you might go walk into a store, you might have an AI agent which could act as a store staff, virtual store staff, and guide you through your shopping, just like a red carpet given to you, and you are being treated like a part, right?
Yeah.
And then you might not like it, but then AI can start continue to chat with you to understand what you like, and then give you a lot of recommendation. So even if you are not in the shop, you could actually be there with a virtual AI agent. And then eventually, if you're convinced, AI could recommend you what to buy. You buy it and it gets delivered. So you see this whole journey, it's not either in store or in e-commerce. It's more about invisible wall between e-commerce and that. That's from the omnichannel perspective. In terms of personalization, I believe currently more is more in digital marketing, which means you have to send a lot of newsletter, campaign, push notification. But maybe you might be receiving 10 or 20 newsletter every day or every week. What do? You won't even open it. right? It goes into junk or spam folder, right? Now, eventually, it will be less is the more, which means you need to have one or two campaign, one or two notification, but that notification should be such that customer would actually buy it. And that would be a change from personalization to a real kind of laser sharp focusing on the customer. On the third part you mentioned was about what was the third part? I'm not got it.
Customer engagement.
Customer engagement. I believe it won't be about customer engagement. It would be more about building a community. So you will not talk about customer lifecycle value, but maybe you will talk to customer like a AI agent and giving them a lot of insights for not just selling a product, but actually for them a good. For example, from the beauty perspective, AI can actually analyze the UV rays in your locality where you are currently and ask you to apply a SPF sunscreen. It might not simply sell you a serum, but actually analyze your face, pigmentation, and then tell you that look, it looks for you, this is the best. Try it out, and then you can either buy in store or online. So you see, it's less of a spamming, more of a loyalty building. So,
Yeah.
so I think omni-channel would become invisible, right? Personalization would be laser focus, and this customer retention would be more of a customer loyalty and a kind of hundred.
Okay. But there's an argument that customer loyalty needs that human connection, right? So with all this integration of AI, how is that balance? What does that balance look like
Yeah.
from your perspective?
So I believe this human interaction is required when AI will not act as a human. Then AI would start giving a generic reply and start trying to do that, right? So I believe in future, in next 5 years, you will see AI not acting as an autonomous agent of a traditional, but actually understand the human emotion and start chatting with that. And of course, you will need, human in the back end to ensure that whenever somebody wants to have a personal interaction, he can always do that. And and as I said, in this so-called physical to digital conversion, you always have store to support and give this kind of interaction as well.
Yes.
And I believe in future, uh, as a human, we want to be independent.
Hmm.
We want to be anonymous, right? So we don't want to know our segmentation to somebody physically, but we are okay to tell this to an digitally.
Do you not think that the AI predicting these things is taking away the ability for us as customers to think for ourselves, like, to pick out the pigmentation that we think suits us best? What's your opinion on that?
I believe that autonomy will always be there, but AI would assist. So I mean, I always say AI is not artificial intelligence; it's augmented intelligence. It would augment your decision making. The moment you let AI take every decision on your behalf, then actually you are screwing it up. And this is where industry is going wrong. They are simply buying some AI tool and assume that there'll be a magic happen, right? It won't happen. You have to have that human interaction and the augmentation. When you start augmenting, that's where you will see a kind of business benefit coming.
Okay. So, how should business leaders measure the impact and ROI of AI, especially when much of its value goes beyond traditional financial
Look
metrics?
like a question coming from a CFO or a finance guy. So I think we as the industry have to understand and get away with this mindset of return on investment for every investment that we do. Specifically in this AI world, it should not be return on investment, but return on intelligence. Be- Because so you have to start measuring return on intelligence on AI at three stage. Number one, you have to see talent amplification. So if your talented guy is spending 5 hours in doing autonomous tasks and doing tasks which is not adding any business value, then you are not using that talent at all. So what AI would do, automate, autonomous, all this stuff. So this talent can be used for something else, better business value. Second, It would not simply act as automation, it would act as decision making. Currently, as the human, we have limitation of taking decision. We can't take every decision. And most of the decisions are biased with our emotion and gut feelings. AI would make it more objective, based on the facts and figure. Third, once you have these two, you will ultimately realize that your organization is intelligence above your peer. So, and then you will see, I mean, think about 20 years ago. Why did Amazon become Amazon? Because Amazon was more better intelligent than any other company. So ultimately, once the overall IQ of your industry goes up, you would be the one who will be leading the industry.
So I'm going to ask you one more question. So looking ahead, what advice do you have to give for retail and beauty executives? What can they do to grow?
I think they have to unlearn what they have learned, because now we are in a different era. So you have to first unlearn. Second, you have to have a scope of failure. You should celebrate failure. Without failure, there will not be intelligence. There will not be kind of no next leap. So failure should be celebrated. Stop looking at every investment from a ROI perspective. ROI should not be return on investment, return on intelligence. And the fourth part is, don't think about buying an AI tool which change everything. It won't happen. So you have to build an intelligence within the organization. And last but not least, if not kick out, at least silence your antibodies within the organization. Our body is immune to antibodies. So it fights against the bad actors.
Okay, yeah.
Whenever there is a new intelligence, new leap coming into the organization, the legacy employer who are there from 30, 40 years, they might not accept it.
Yeah.
So they would act as a antibodies for the organization. So you have to ensure that either you take them away or you silence them, so that you have that openness within the organization to thrive to a different level.
I love that. I love how you given different definitions and we had a bit of medical talk too. So thank you so much, Rad, for joining us and enjoy the rest of the summit.
Thank you so much, Tani.